Help! The monkeys escaped! Help! The monkeys escaped! They got out of the pen, I don't know what happened. The key, they took the key, I don't know. Help! The monkeys escaped and said, help! The monkeys escaped and said, help! The monkeys, they come after me at night, and I don't know what to do.
Hello and welcome once again. It's been a while, but here we are. You'll have to excuse that intro. I thought I would try spicing it up with something different. I actually did do songs back in the day for the Simple series and Simple Skating series, and I thought I'd bring it back. It's meant to be a goof and a gaff. It isn't meant to be anything. If you listen to the song and think, wow, that is horrendous, that is the point. It's supposed to be horrendous. It's meant to be that way. I am no musician. I am no music maker. But I do hope by me making these stupid songs, maybe I'll learn a thing or two, and maybe I'll get better. We'll see though, won't we? So I made a stupid song, and I am going to have that stupid song in its entirety. At the very end of this series, I'm going to do a little outro video which will feature it in case you're interested to see what the rest of the horrendous song sounds like. Either way, let's move to the topic of today's series that we're going to be doing, and that is Zoo Games. If you're not familiar with Zoo Games, they're just another budget publisher back from like the mid to late 2000s, and they kind of persisted until like 2011 and then kind of just disappeared. So but we'll go over what Zoo Games is. I'm not going to go into as much detail as maybe I would have done in previous videos, but just to give you an idea, from what I can tell, is they for a very short period they were also known as Green Screen Interactive Software for some reason. I don't know why. It seems to be they originally started in like 2007-ish as Green Screen Interactive Software, then changed LLC. And then changed their name to Green Interactive Software Incorporated in 2008, before then finally changing their name to Zoo Games Incorporated in I guess late 2008. They do have a company website. Maybe I'll have a look at it just for a goof and a gaff. But yeah, it seems like they released games from 2008 all the way up until 2011. And there's some pretty horrendous games. We're going to be looking at 10 games. I'm not going to be looking at all of the games that they released, but we're going to be looking at 10 hand-selected games that I think would be interesting to look at. But just to give you an idea, so Zoo Games Inc. Was a company based in Delaware, New York, in America. Operations commenced in March 2007 as Green Screen Interactive Software, possibly also Green Screen LLC. It was initially founded by Ryan Brant and Mark Seremet, founders of Take-Two Interactive. Wow, okay. Seremet also co-founded Paragon Software Corporation, and Susan Cummings, also at Take-Two, I'm so childish, known for helping build the 2K label. So the people involved in this company seem to be coming from quite well-known in terms of like video game companies, well-known backgrounds. Take-Two, 2K, which is interesting. The company's CEO was Ron Chaimowitz. I'm sorry if I butchered that. Co-founder of GT Interactive Software. I'm not really familiar with them. The initial goal was to handle both AAA and casual games combined with a digital strategy, but they eventually settled on casual game content, which I'm not surprised with. With casual game content, I like the use of the term casual game content, not budget game, casual game. In May 2008, the company converted from a limited liability company into a corporation, Green Screen Interactive Software Incorporated, and Mandalay Media Incorporated announced the acquisition of the company on the 16th of May 2008, providing a bridge loan of $2 million. On 14th of August 2008, the name was changed to Zoo Games Incorporated. The company initially mainly operated using the casual games labeled Zoo Games through the acquisition of several companies. The development studio Supervillain Studios, wow, Supervillain Studios, no, that's not a very good studio, was acquired in 2007, June 2007, and was eventually sold back to the original owners on the 16th of September 2008. Wow, they held that studio for a long time, didn't they? The U.S. publishing and distribution company Destination Software Incorporated was acquired in December 2007, and it was renamed to Zoo Publishing Inc. So yeah, there is also Zoo Publishing Inc. So which mainly handles the publishing of games. Like Zoo as a whole was mainly a publisher, but they basically had their own kind of like in-house developers that made crappy games. I think the only game I can honestly say that they actually did a good job at was probably Skate Attack. That's the only game I can think of. Anyway. Where was I reading this? Renamed to Zoo Publishing Inc. The UK company Zoo Digital Publishing Limited was acquired in April 2008 and eventually sold back to the original owner on the 25th of November 2000. Why do they keep buying companies and selling them back? Why? That's just such a waste of money. They can't be selling them back for profit. I don't see how, or even the same money. I don't know. In June 2009, the UK company Zoo Entertainment Europe Limited was established for the distribution and sales of Zoo Games products. The Zoo Europe operations were discontinued in December 2009. On the 12th of December 2008, DFTW Merger Sub Inc., so many companies, a subsidiary of public shell company initially known as Driftwood Ventures Incorporated, so many companies, merged with and into Zoo Games Incorporated. And soon after, the main company changed its name to Zoo Entertainment Inc., but conducted the all business and publishing activity through Zoo Games Inc. Between 2008 and 2011, the subsidiary Zoo Publishing released around 60 games, mainly for the Nintendo DS and Wii platforms, but also a few for Windows, PS2, and Xbox 360. In 2009, 2B Games was launched as a sponsor who also organized competitions for independent developers. In 2010, 2B Games was renamed to IndiePub. The company eventually focused entirely on this operation, and in September 2011 it was announced that the company had been working for a year on an indies-only game and application distribution or publishing platform where developers using IndiePub would receive 75% of all royalties. On the 1st of February 2011, IndiePub Mobile was announced to branch out to mobile, iOS, and Android games. The name of the main parent company, Zoo Entertainment Inc., was changed to IndiePub Entertainment Incorporated on 15th of May 2012, although Zoo Games and Zoo Publishing continued to exist, but with no further output beyond 2011. Most of the operations were most likely handled through the Delaware company IndiePub Inc. In 2013, all activity was halted, and all IndiePub and Zoo companies were closed. The last IndiePub published game was Vessel in September 2013. So they just halted. So it leads me to believe that they tried casual games, they failed and didn't sell very well. So they moved to Android and iOS using apps, and that failed. So they were, I don't know, maybe they did. It doesn't say that they went bankrupt, so I'm just assuming that they were just hemorrhaging money and in the end just decided to close. Something along those lines. But I always find it interesting because there is actually a game that apparently that they did called Glacier 3 The Meltdown, which I'm not looking at because it doesn't pop up. Because I mainly use game FAQs when I look up games that I want to cover. And it says it's not developed by, from what I can see, an in-house Zoo Games developer. It's developed by Team 6 Game Studios BV. And obviously the game says it's released on Windows as well as Wii. So of course I go onto Steam just to check out the game to see what's it going for on Steam. Obviously there's summer sales going on at the moment, and you can buy it for 41 pence, which is crazy. I'm very tempted to actually just include this as a bonus game in maybe the outro or something. Maybe I will, maybe I won't, I don't know. It's got a mixed review score, but it actually says the publisher is now Funbox Media, so I assume that pretty much all of their games probably got acquired or something along those lines. Either that, or maybe they became Funbox Media later on down the line, I don't know. But yeah, bottom line is that Zoo Games is just another one of those budget publishing companies that, again, acquired some in-house developers, which pretty much Phoenix Games did that. And even though Phoenix Games is quite literally the most horrendous example you can give, they had their own in-house developers. They took Aqua Pacific. Maybe not in-house, but they hired a load of developers that made games exclusively for them, like Aqua Pacific, the Code Monkeys, Data Design Interactive, just to name a few. So it wouldn't be surprising if Zoo did the same. But I'm very surprised to find out that the actual creators of Zoo Games were originally from a Take-Two and 2K background. You would think they would be smarter than to go into the budget casual game market. Like, yeah, it's like there's a reason why budget games are pretty much gone now. You know, you don't see them anymore, and that's why I always find it interesting to look at them and wonder why. Anyway, so there's a little bit of insight behind Zoo Games. I hope that gives you a little bit of idea who they are before we move on with the series. I don't want to make this video any longer than it already is, so look forward to the series. I'm planning to release the first game on the same day that this video launches, so check it out. Alright, thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, and comment, and look forward to the series.